This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according all that is written therein. For when thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Now Joshua was saying this to the children of Jacob as they go in and possess the land of Canaan. God had already done most of the work, but God is sending them in to show that you can have confidence in me, and if you do what I tell you to do, you will have success. You will possess these lands, and you will have erased all these people out of the land, because it wasn't their land to start with. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 6. Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. Hear, O Israel, or hear, children of Jacob, the scattered tribes of the children of Jacob. Hear, the I am our God is one God. Let that sink in. The I am our God is one God. You've heard them of the time of the New Testament as they have written it down that he said he and God is one. That's a lie. We can be one with God in what? Doing what he says, doing as he commands. This is the only way we can be one with God. But as far as him being, the whole thing is ambiguous, and it contradicts a lot of things that God says about himself. And I can understand the side of the Pharisees and Sadducees when they want to stone him because he just did blaspheme. And the story's not true, no way, but either way, that's the whole heart of the matter. And thou shalt love the I am thy God with all thine heart. He quoted this one too. And with all thy soul and with all thy might. This is what they say he quoted. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. Teach the commandments to your children, he's saying. And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou restest up. When you teach your children the commandments, and it comes out your mouth every time they turn around, they're going to get sick of it. Yes, they are. But as they grow up and things begin to try them, the sex, the drugs, the thievery, the adulteries, the fornications, all these things will rise up, and they will fear to do them because of what? Who? Their parents have taught them diligently. And even to some of them, to even turning to the Most High. Teach a child the way that it shall go, and it will not depart from that. Well, the first things you to teach a child is the way of the Most High. If the Most High is your God, if you call yourself after the children of the Most High, they should know. Other than that, you're just a pagan. You're just someone just trying to appease God to get into what they call heaven, and God's gonna just say, oh, come on in. God's not like you, brother, sister. He's not like you. He don't think like you. And the only way you can understand and know God is you have to understand his laws, statutes, commandments, and ordinances. Yes. He says, teach them diligently to your children. Mark that, Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4 through 7. And now let us go back to the book of, we're going through the book of Exodus. Yes, the book of Exodus. We're going back through that book, but we're only going to read the laws, the book of Exodus. We're not going to go into the historical stuff and all that. But we're going to read the book of Exodus chapter 20. And we're going to start with verse 2. And we're just going to read these first few verses concerning love the I am thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, with all thy might. Yes, this is all we're going to do. And iterate on it a little bit. You know me, I'm going to have to do that anyway. Thou shalt have no other God before me. Let's go to verse 2. He says, I am thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Scattered Israel, scattered Jacob. The I am your God had brought you out, your ancestors out of Egypt. And upon bringing them out, Moses stood up after he came out to the mountain and says, have no other gods before me. What this means, powers. Have no other powers before me. You heard the what you call it, He-Man. What did He-Man say? I have the power. In other words, he have the God or whatever. This is English. Look it up. He said, I brought thee out of, he said, thou shalt have no other gods before me. No other powers, no other leaders, no other, should I say, deities before me. If you can understand this. Now, for those of you who wants to join Israel, who wants to join in what God have gave to Israel, God, he gives his laws with equity. In other words, there is no one above the law that God have handed to Moses, which he had given to Israel. No, it's not the law of Moses. Moses did not create that law. That's a lie. Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, in the sky above. That's what he's saying. Or what you call the spirit realm, yes. Or that is in the earth beneath, that's in the ground, moles and all these things. Or that is in the water under the earth. He said, don't make these things. Okay? Thou shalt not bow thyself down to them, nor serve them. That is the key phrase right there. You will not make these things to bow down yourself to them, nor serve them. Yeah, you dream a dream and you think this is just like people would bow down and maybe worship a athlete because he has more power than they do to do things that they can never even dream of doing. This is worship. A singer and actress that flaunts her body all over the stage and sing these songs of sexual allures and all these things. Oh, you just fall all over because her voice just carries with you and her body looks so good, even to the women. And she appeals to their desires and their, should I say, their aspirations. To have everybody love them, to want that attention, such as Eve. He said, thou shalt not bow yourself down to them, nor serve them. For I am thy God, am a jealous God. God is jealous. This is the biggest sin. This is why Israel and the children of Jacob, throughout the history, their history, even to this day, nothing but turmoil. You being the tail and not the head. The Satans have made you felt that it's so hard to live right before the Most High. This is all he asks. Love me in this way. You love God like this. This is how you love God. How do you love God? Excuse me. But not making any graven images or any likeness of anything that's in the heavens above or in the earth beneath, that is in the water or under the earth. Don't make them to bow down. Thou shalt not bow thyself down to them, nor serve them, for I am thy God, am a jealous God. Don't make these things to worship. This is all he's saying. This is how you love me. It's so easy. It's easy. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. It's easy. He says, this is what I will do. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandment. This is a commandment that God has given unto the children of Israel. To love them. Thou shalt not take the name of the I am thy God in vain, for the I am will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. The word vain means useless. You profane it. He said he will not hold you guiltless. And some of you hear this Easter's talking about the Holy Spirit. God is holy and God is a spirit. He's the spirit. He possesses time, space, matter, all things. But yet he can be in one place and he can be in all places. Satan can't do that. There are many Satans. It's not one Satan. See, this is where the flaw is in the translation in these books we call the Bible and other books that have been translated into Old English and all this stuff, and they've gotten a hold of them too. Enoch, Jubilees, Jasher, yes, the Apocrypha. They've gotten to all those books and trying to make you think that this is an English thing. He says, thou shalt not take the name of the I am thy God in vain. Just reverence the I am. Reverence who you call Tata and Zambi, Sunini and Ainini. Reverence him. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, clean, reverenced. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the I am thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that was in thy gates. Don't do no work. Just chill out. Just chill out. Get rid of, there's other things to this, but we're going to cross that road as we go past it. The Sabbath day, as far as I know, the Sabbath day is, according to the book of Jasher and book of Enoch, the Sabbath day is in the book of Jubilees also. All those three books tell you what is the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day is the seventh day after the new moon. The new moon denotes the new month. God created these entities to keep time. Yes. But man, the Satans have tricked man into coming with this Greco-Roman calendar and other calendars that they have, that they tell time within the days and the months. And so you do your Sabbath on your Saturdays. It's convenient for you because your job. Some can't even get off on that day if it was so. But it's the seventh day after the new moon. And the new year is about to start. I'm talking about the new year for the children of Jacob, the children of Israel, the children of Jacob. We don't go by any other moon. Wherever you are in the world, when the moon appears as new, that is your new moon. Now, he said, now don't make it, you don't make your children work, don't make anything work. A stranger within thy gate, don't make them. For in 6 days the I am made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them is, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the I am blessed the Sabbath day, and made it holy, clean. He just looked back on his work and admired it on the seventh day. That's all he did. If it was a rest, yes, it's a rest. God don't need to rest, really. But after he made the sun and the moon, the moon was the first day. The moon from that even to the next even was the first day. Yes, it was. So what do you think about the new moon? The new month, it's the same thing. From the appearing of the moon out of darkness to the disappearing is the month, is the complete month. Oh, let us get us together. And with this is how we love God in a nutshell for right here, for right now. This is how we love God. This is how you love him. There's nothing else. So what else he asked you? Even the New Testament even told you that his commandments are not grievous. No. Yes, there are details that we shall delve in later on as far as the book of the law. We do not have the book of the law, but this is an historical account of the book of the law, what was contained in it. It may not be accurate, but it's accurate for as generally it's accurate. Yes. But what is the New Testament for? The New Testament is to trick you up and trip you up and to make you think that God is changing, that God doesn't know what he's doing and that God is evil. Yes. This is the good God here. He said, now, even Joshua said, if you do these things, you will have good success. He didn't put a lot on Israel. As far as loving him, he didn't put a lot on Israel as far as loving him. Now, there are consequences. This is a standard that God asks you to go by in loving him. This is a standard. A law is the same thing as a standard. Now, to judge if one violated this standard, or to say one is a judgment. And then judgment is to find out whether you're guilty or not in violating the standard, or the law, the ordinance, the statutes, or the commandment. And if you're found guilty of violating that law or that standard, then you're sentenced. So there's the accusation, there's the judgment according to the standard, and the evidence whether you found guilty or innocent. And then there's the sentence, or there's the dismissal of charges. This thing works the same way as the legal system or the judging or the judicial system should work. Yes, but God is equal. God is one. And let us do these things. No idols is what God is saying. Don't use his name in jokes and everything else. Do not use, as you know the name of the Most High, do not, even looking up, do not use his name in jokes. Remember the 6th day of the month. The month starts with the new moon, which starts as soon as the moon appears new. After it has went behind whatever moon or sun and have hit the darkness, when it appears again, that is the new moon. Yes. He says labor 6 days after that, and every 6 days thereof until the next new moon, and do all your work. And see, the Satans have blocked that too, to trip you up and to make you anger God. Yes, they have, yeah. We're not in our land, no, we're not. And he says now, keep the Sabbath day, honor it, the rest day. In other words, rest. You do the best you can to do what God says, not as what seems right in your eyes, or, your Saturdays and Sundays. And that trips the Satans up. And with that, if we do these things, we will have peace.